Labor and working class organizations have a long history of effectively telling their stories, their histories through the use of comics. These efforts have been very effective, and there's a reason why. They're easy to access. They're what the historian Kathy Pice might have called a cheap amusement. You don't have to pay all that much to consume these things. They're also very entertaining. Unlike a boring history book that's going to require you like a week of your time to plow through to take away the main gist of it, these comics can be absorbed in a matter of minutes. And you don't have to be fluent in the English language, let alone reading at a Shakespearean level, to really walk away from the comic with a firm understanding of what the message is supposed to be. They're a very good and useful way to get labor's message out there, and labor and working class organizations have made good use of them throughout the years. As a matter of fact, a historian by the name of Robert Bussell has recently published an article, and in this article, he talks about the National Labor Service's use of comic books to tell important stories throughout the course of labor and working class history. And it really runs the gamut of eras and periods throughout labor and working class history. Here's a quick example. I myself actually have a few things in the works when it comes to labor's use of comics to tell its story, but that's another story for another time. The assignment that we're going to embark on here is going to ask you to use one primary document, and that document needs to come from modules 6, 7, and or 8. You can mix and match if you want to do it that way. They don't have to come all from one or all from another. You can mix and match. If you recall, those modules are available to you in Blackboard, and you'll click on the Resources button to access all of those things. Now, what I'm asking you to do here, everybody, is to actually create a comic of your own to tell a story. I'm asking you to base that story on the primary document, but unlike a term paper or even a short writing assignment, I'm actually asking you to tell that story vis-a-vis a comic strip or maybe just a set comic. In addition to the comic itself, I'm expecting you to have a works cited page. You need to tell me where you got your information from, what primary documents you're using to tell this story. Now, for those of you that choose to go down this road, I've uploaded a grid, a comic grid. It's available to you in the Labor History and Comics Project folder. You can download it. For those of you that are handier with computers than I am, you might be able to just kind of play with it on your actual computer and then upload the finished product. But I want you to be very creative in this project. I'm hoping that you will anyway. The comic can tell the story of a live event, something that actually happened, or it can involve a fictional character, a character that's based in an actual event, an actual time period, or an actual context, like the Triangle Shirtwaist Fire. Could be the Great Depression. It could be the Flint sit-down strike. Now, I am aware that not everybody is as artsy and as capable in that capacity as everybody else. I really am hopeful that you'll take me up on this assignment. And by the way, your artistic ability is not really going to be what's taken into consideration as far as your grade is concerned. But for those of you that don't want any part of this, I get it, which is why I have offered up an alternative assignment if you prefer. If you don't want to go down the road of a comic, what you can do is you can use a primary source to tell a short story. Again, it can be a fictional story based in truth, or you can use it as a live event. If you choose this option or an analytical essay, I wanted to add that if you wanted to do just a straight up analytical essay to tell a story, you can do that route as well. Either way, just like everyone that's doing a comic, your primary source needs to come from modules 6, 7, or 8 in the Resources tab of Blackboard. Regardless of what format of this assignment that you choose to do, the objective here is to get students very, very comfortable and really get them to be intentional and deliberate when it comes to working with primary sources. I want you to come up with creative ways to articulate a message, the same way that our friends in the labor movement got creative with their use of comics to tell an important story in a way that's concise as well as entertaining. Now, there are a few additional resources that I've uploaded to help you think about this assignment, and you can find them in the same folder. There's an actual comic book that I've uploaded so that you have it and that you can use it as an example, maybe some inspiration if you want to think of it that way. Naturally, these resources are optional, and you don't have to use them, but they're there for you in case you want them, in case you need them. So that's about it. I'm really trying to get students to get in there and think critically about these primary sources and how they might explain their meanings into a general audience, one that's not necessarily really interested in labor and working class history the way that you and I are. That's where I'm really going with this assignment. So if you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me. I'll talk to you very soon, everybody.